Labdien. On the scale of 1 to 10, 1 is abysmal, 10 is incredible. Where would you currently rate your levels of customer service to your clients today? 7. Write down a number. Write it down. 1 is abysmal, 10 is incredible. Now, there are no 1s, 2s, or 3s in the room. Oh, there's a 0. Really? Really? Huge, thank you. Huge potential indeed. Far too much potential. Are there any 4s or 5s in the room today? Any 4s or 5s? Fairly average service, Geoff, that we're delivering. Thank you. 6s and 7s, where are you? Hands up. Thank you. 8s. There you are. 9. No? Do we have any 10s? There are no 9s and there are no 10s out of 10s for customer service in Riga. Well, that's good. You see, they're just numbers. The majority of people and businesses in this room are 7s and 8s out of 10s. You're actually saying to me, Geoff, we are pretty good, but there's always room for improvement. You have incredible products, you have incredible services, and you're wanting to compete around the world, not just here, but around the world. You want to export your amazing business. You're not just in competition with businesses in Riga anymore, you're in competition with Europe, with the entire world. It's not just the product that will stand out and be a success. It's the customer service behind it. You may have seen customer service speakers over the years. You may have been on training courses. You may have read many customer service books in your time. And I wonder if you've seen the same people as me and you've read the same books, because in order for you to be a really successful business, you always have to do 2 things. The first is you must go the extra mile. Yeah, you must go the extra mile. And the second one is you must always exceed your customers. Yeah, it's the same old, same old. Go the extra mile, exceed expectations. What I'm going to share with you for these next 30 minutes is something a little bit different. It's something that I hope that you can take away from this conference and build within your brand when you go to export. Because this is a global village that we're in. We have to stand out for the amazing service that we're going to provide. The product is not good enough. It's the service behind it. I want to show you something a little bit different. And it happened at a conference. It happened on stage at a conference. I walked onto the stage and the MC said, "Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board Geoff Ramm." And I put my foot onto the stage and I started to talk to myself. And then I said, "Say something different, Geoff." I said, "No, that would be crazy. I've already got my slides. I know what I'm going to talk about." No, Geoff, do something different. Start your talk in a different way." And I said, no, that would be crazy. And as I got to the front of the audience, and there was 300 entrepreneurs in that audience that day, I turned to them and I changed my opening line of my talk. And I said, "Do you treat all your customers the same? Do you treat everybody with the same high level of service, no matter what day of the week, no matter how you're feeling, no matter who they are? Does everybody receive the highest level of customer care?" And one woman shouted out. She sat right at the front, just off to my right, in the front row. "Your lucky seat." And she said, "Absolutely, Geoff." And I was surprised. Because if I ask a question to the audience, people go, "Oh." And she shouted out, "Absolutely, Geoff." And I said, "Wow, you treat everybody with the same high level of service each and every day?" She said, "Yes." I said, "What sort of business have you got?" She says, "I've got a boutique business. We design and manufacture children's toys, homeware and kitchenware. It's very exclusive, rather expensive. And it's out of wood, metal, and stone. These wonderful sculptures, these wonderful pieces of art. I said, wow. I said, give me examples of this wonderful service. She says, well, it's not all about selling for us. It's about the experience. And when people come into us, we have 2 big leather settees, 2 big couches where they can sit down and relax and read the brochure. I said, fantastic. I said, anything else? She says, we always serve the very best tea and coffee. She was so passionate that day, I had to ask her this next question. I said, but what happens if a celebrity were to come into your business tomorrow? She said, like who? And I said, do you like men or women? She said, I like men. I said, that's okay. I said, in that case, can you think of an A-list celebrity Hollywood movie hunk? And she thought for a few seconds and she shouted out 2 names. A Hollywood movie hunk. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's just go wild here live today in Riga. Would anybody here like to shout out an A-list celebrity Hollywood movie hunk? Brad Pitt, thank you very much. Sir. Keep going. Anybody else? Have we just got Brad Pitt? Just one Brad Pitt fan? There's nobody else. No? Can you think of anybody else? Statham? Oh, yes. Quite a few people went, yes, yes, we like him. That day, ladies and gentlemen, that day, that lady looked at me and she said, oh, George and Brad. If you could be stood up here now, looking at your face, it's like, did you hear everybody in the audience? That day, I said, okay, picture the scene. I said, George Clooney wants to come to your shop tomorrow. He wants to have a look at the products because he's going home tomorrow and he wants to buy some things for his family. He picks up the telephone and he says, hi, I'm George Clooney. I've heard all about the wonderful service in your business and your wonderful products. I would like to visit you tomorrow, but I've got so many autograph hunters, I can't. I just want some time by myself. I just want some time to shop. I have the paparazzi with cameras pointing at me all of the time. And they're following me everywhere. I just want to come into your shop tomorrow and buy from you. So if I come in tomorrow, would you close the shop just for me? And this is live in the event. And I said, would you close the shop for George Clooney? And she nodded her head. She went, yes, I said, if I come to your business tomorrow and I ask you to close the business just for me, would you do it? She put her hand up to her mouth. She went, ah! I said, what's the matter? She said, I would treat people differently. Of course you would. Of course you would. Every business in this room, if somebody like this wanted to buy your product, if you were going to America and George Clooney wanted your product and you're going to export to America, what would your service look like? Would it be better or worse than the service that you're currently delivering to your customers and clients right now in Latvia? The answer is yes. And I'll tell you the reason why. Because the last question I said to this lady that day, I said, what else would you do for George Clooney tomorrow morning? You've got some answers already, sir, haven't you? You think, oh. She came up with 6 ideas in 30 seconds. She was already delivering a highest level of service, but she'd come up with 6 ideas in half a minute on how she could improve it. I said, the first thing she said is, oh, I would get my hair done. I said, okay. I said, anything else? She said, yeah, I'd wear my best dress. Now that might not be the greatest business piece of advice that you're going to receive today. But look at what just happened. The image of you has been improved. It's gone from there to there. I said, anything else? She said, yeah, we have a beautiful oak floor in the business. If George Clooney was to come in here tomorrow, this evening, I would varnish it so it looked perfect. I said, anything else? She said, yeah, I would get rid of the tea and coffee. I said, no, that's a good USP. She said, no, I'll get the proper coffee. In 30 seconds, she found a way to look better for that customer. She found a way to improve her business, and she found a way to improve something that was already a standout piece of service. It's the only question I'm going to ask you today. If a celebrity were to email you, walk in, you were to go and visit them, if they were your next client, what would you look like? What would you say? How long would it take you to write that proposal for them? Is it normally 4 days? Is it no. You'll do it straight away. Would you email it to them like you do your current clients? You would hand deliver it. If a celebrity were to walk into your business tomorrow, what would change? The answer for you and your team is everything. How you react, what you say, what you do, the time response, everything will change. That I can promise. But the word celebrity is broken down into 9 components. Celebrity actually stands for consistency, excitement, love, engagement, bravado, response, independence, thank you, and you and your team. The 9 components that you can look at as you're about to export. And challenge yourself. What could our service look like? What could we actually do? We've got to stand out in the marketplace. Service is just the start. So let me show you what the 10 out of 10 looks like. Let me show you the great people around the world who are promoting their brands, who are standing out from the competition, and who are having people like me blog about them, write about them, put them in the book, and talk about them the world over. Let me show you what celebrity service looks like for real. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to say goodbye to George and Brad. Do you want to take a photograph? Do you want to do it now? Bye, George. Right, goodbye. We'll see you soon. We'll see you soon. Let's go to excitement. One of the key components of celebrity service. Can you deliver an element of excitement at every single customer, client, touch point within your business? That was an interactive question. The answer is yes. But look at every single customer touch point. Can you deliver an element of excitement? Why? Because if you can show that level of passion, that level of excitement, it's highly contagious. Are you excited to work in England? Are you excited to work in Sweden? Are you showing that through every single customer touch point? Or is it just another country on the map? Show your excitement in every single touch point. Not so long ago, I was speaking in Harare, the capital of Zimbabwe, and I finished the conference. I got back in the taxi, and I got to the airport. I checked in to go back to Johannesburg in South Africa. And as I checked in, they give me my ticket. And this is the ticket. I didn't really pay too much attention to the ticket, but what I did notice was 1F. And I thought, oh, I've been upgraded. Fantastic. They then called the flight, and myself and all the passengers got onto the tarmac, and I'm looking for the plane. Where's the plane? And I'm speaking to my passengers, have you seen, where's the plane? And a member of the staff, I said, they've just called the flight. She said, yes. I said, where's the plane? The only thing I can see is a little plane in the corner with propellers. She said, that's your plane. Right. The plane was so small. The gangway, I had my case in front of me and I walked up like this. Like that. I got to the top. There was 2 members of cabin crew at the top. Welcome on board Airlink flight to Johannesburg. Have you got your boarding card? I said, yes, I have. I said, I've got it here. And I couldn't find it. She said, I'm so sorry to have to ask you. I said, no. It's your job. That's fine. There it is. You've won a prize. I said, what have I won? She said, I can't tell you. I'll tell you later. I said, is it the upgraded seat? She said, no. It's a very small plane. You just sat at the front. I had a window seat, 1F. The gentleman beside me, he was about 60-year-old, very, very polished, lovely business suit, and he was sat there. I said, good evening. He said, good evening. I said, and I got past him, and I sat down. I said, did you win a prize? He said, yeah. I said, what did you win? She won't tell me. So I leant forward to the, I said, did you win a prize? Yeah. What did you win? I don't know. Being sat at the front of the aircraft that day gave me an extraordinary viewpoint of what was happening at the very front. Every single passenger that got on that day received a compliment. Your jacket, your hair, your shoes, even screaming children with their parents. And they had little Buzz Lightyear. And the member of staff said, oh, is that Buzz? We love Buzz Lightyear. And the child was like, literally every single person received a compliment, which meant one thing. Every single person that walked past us had one thing in common. A smile from there. Everybody sat down.
Visi apsēdās.
The same member of cabin crew come to the front. She picked up the telephone and she said, ladies and gentlemen, we are delighted to see you on board this evening because you have the greatest looking cabin crew in the skies this evening. And she wasn't being serious. It was a bit of fun. Everybody was laughing. She said, would you do me one favor? She said, it would mean the world to me if you picked up this piece of paper and read it both sides. And in an instant, every single person on that flight picked up the safety notice and read it both sides. To this day, I have yet to see that on any airplane. She put the phone down, we started a taxi. And we're going along the runway. And she came to the front. And she gathered in the front row who had won a prize. She said, come here, come here, come here. She said, here's your prize. You've just won the opportunity to help me open that door if we crash. Well, just like you, we all laughed. The second row were laughing. The third row, they couldn't hear what she said, but they were laughing. It was contagious. This went on and on and on. Half an hour into the flight, the drinks trolley came. She got the older gentleman that was sat beside me. She said, would you like a drink? He said, yes, please. What would you like? He said, I'll have water. She said, would you like ice? He said, no, thanks. She said, you look cool enough. After an hour, I undid my buckle And I said, that's it. And the gentleman said, what's the matter? I said, I need to go and speak to this person. He said, what for? I said, I don't know. I need to go and speak to this person. And I got to the front. I said, excuse me. She said, yes. I said, can I just say, this has been the greatest ever experience on a flight, ever. She said, what? I said, I've flown in every level and every brand. And I said, this has been the greatest flight. I said, you have brought an element of excitement to every single customer touch point. She said, nobody's ever said that before. I said, well, there you go. I said, can I take your photograph? And she said, why? I said, I would like to put you in my next book. I'm writing a book called Celebrity Service. I would like to feature you in that book. She said, really? I said, yeah. I said, I would also like to talk about you for the next 30 years all over the world. She said, can I put some lipstick on? I said, yeah, go for it. So she turned around, she's reapplying some lipstick. I've got my phone out, I switch it to camera mode. She turns around and I'm just about to take the photograph. And at that precise moment, the second member of cabin crew brushed past me. And she went, oh, can I have my photograph taken as well? And I said, yeah. The lady on the left is Christina. I have no idea who the person on the right is. The very next day, I contacted South African Airlines and I said, I was on board the flight last night. I said, I met Christina. She's the one on the left. I said, she brought an element of excitement to every single customer touch point. She had us all laughing. She had us all engaged. We listened to everything she said. It was the greatest experience, bar none. You have got one heck of a superstar on your books. Two things. One, if you could pass on this praise, this recommendation of how brilliant she is, I think it would be great coming from you. And I said, secondly, do you mind if I use this photograph in my book? And do you mind if I talk about her for the next 30 years? And I'll promote you every week. I've yet to receive a reply. You catch a member of your team delivering an incredible piece of celebrity service, praise them. Because there's one thing that they will do. They will keep doing it. A few days later, I was speaking for Radio 702 in Johannesburg. It's one of the biggest radio stations. And I was on a half-an-hour business program. And they said, Geoff, you love coming to Africa. Tell me any great pieces of marketing or great pieces of service that you've seen of late. I said, you're not going to believe it. I said, just the other night, I was on an airline flight. I met Christina. She did this, she did this, she did this, she did this. Brilliant. Here's the twist. A year gone Christmas, I received a Facebook request from somebody called Christina Conradi, the lady on the left. She said, Dear Geoff, you won't remember me. Yes, I do. I talk about you every week. I remember you. She said, I'm typing this friend request crying. She said, a friend of mine has just heard this interview that you've done, and she sent me the link. I have never had feedback like it. Excitement. What can you do? That's somebody delivering excitement at the most mundane piece of service. It's infectious. You've got to stand out. Thank you very much, Christina, and mystery lady. Don't know who she is. But from excitement to engagement. The buzzword of marketing, the buzzword of sales, and the buzzword of customer service for the last 15 years. Engagement. And it's all about the questions. It's all about the questions that you ask. to get the personal information back that will help you sell, that will help you promote, that will help you export. It's finding out that personal piece of information that you can weave into your proposal, that you can weave in to that presentation when promoting your business. And it all stems from my daughter. My daughter Grace, she's almost 10. I'm going back almost 6 years ago now. It was 2 weeks before her 4th birthday. Let me tell you something about Grace. She loves to cut, stick, glue, paint, crayon. She's very creative. She's very artistic. This is what she loves to do more than anything else. I finished a conference in London, and I had a few hours spare before I returned home on the train. I'm 2 weeks from her birthday, and I'm thinking to myself, I wonder if I can get something in London that I can't buy where I live, in the northeast of England. So I went to a little shop called Hamley's. They call themselves the world's most famous toy store. And if any of you have been to the Hamley's store in London, you may recognize it. It's about 9 stories tall, and down the middle is an escalator well. The 3rd floor is the girls' department. So I get to Hamley's, I get up to the 3rd floor, and on the corner of the escalator well is a table. And there's a table on every corner. And on top of that table is a demonstration, is one of the toys, one of the products. And as I got round to the first table, I walked around, and I saw it. On top of this table is an easel. On top of the easel is a wonderful big piece of white paper. The member of staff is stood here. In front of the table is a row of children in a semicircle so tall. Behind the children is a row of parents so tall. Behind the parents is now me. I wonder what this is. It must be some sort of art, craft, painting product. This is the demonstration. It's a grey plastic tray with 6 slabs of coloured paint and a brush. Dips it in the water, but then rolls it over 3 colours at the same time. She said, this, boys and girls, is how you do the butterfly. And the children were like, oh. And the parents were like, ooh. And I'm stood back here thinking, oh, look at that. It's a butterfly in 3 colours. How amazing. Grace would love that. She doesn't need it. It was about 30 euros. It's very expensive. She doesn't, but she would love it. And then the lady said, this is how you do the caterpillar. She says, if you buy today, you get free stencils worth 20 euros with the product. And it was an offer, it was a promotion. A few people bought, and then everybody dispersed. Everybody left. Apart from me. I'm still stood here. I'm thinking, what should I do? This member of staff notices I'm still there, and she looks straight into my eyes. She said, is this for anybody special? I said, yeah, my daughter. It's her birthday in 2 weeks' time. She loves to cut, stick, glue, paint, crayon. She's very artistic. I'm just having a look at some ideas. She says, oh, if you buy today, you get free stencils. That's the offer. I said, I've seen the deal. Thank you. But I said, I've just walked in. I've just walked into the shop. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to have a little walk around. And if I don't see anything else that I like, I'll come back. Insert the greatest engaging question of all time. She looked back at me and she said, What's your daughter's name? I said, Grace. If you don't come back, would you give this to Grace on her birthday from me? And as I was handing over the money, I said, on one condition. She said, what's that? I said, I need your photograph. She said, what for? I said, one day I'll be speaking in Riga. And I'm going to show everybody how brilliant you were at engaging with me. And you sold the product. This is Julia. And that's my daughter's name on a piece of paper. Do you know how many times Grace has used this product? Twice! Let me cut to the chase. Let me finish this right now. You do not sell paints. You do not have a toy shop. And you may be thinking, Geoff, it's a nice story, but it's got nothing to do with me. I'm going to export. This is not what I do. No, you're wrong. We've got to learn. We've got to really look at how people are engaging with us. We've got to look at the Christinas, we've got to look at the Julias of this world and think, how can we learn from this? I'll tell you what I learned. The art of personalization. The art of personalization. Finding out who it was for and then putting that back into a message that helped me place the order. The biggest thing I learned 6 years ago was my proposals that I was sending out to clients who wanted to book me to speak at a conference. And I radically changed them that day, inspired by Julia at Hamley's. Now, if you look at my proposal, it has links to the countries that I speak in the language of that nation. Last week I was in Slovenia. I had a video made, a testimonial in Slovenian. If I ever get booked, if I ever get an opportunity to speak in Slovenia again, which link would I send in my proposal document to really connect with that audience? The one that speaks the language. You're going to hear some amazing speakers today about connecting and about marketing and about exporting your amazing products. But please, excite them, engage with them, learn from the outside world, and highly personalize everything you send out. My offer to you is for today. If you want to come and see me outside at some point, give me your business card if you wish. I promise I will email you my before and after proposals. Because the day that they changed is the day my sales grew over 25%. A third of my work is overseas. I export me, as you can tell today. And it's inspired by Julia. If you would like to see the before and after and hopefully be inspired and take some ideas of what I did to increase sales, I'll send you those in the next few days. That is my promise. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a gap in your service. You think you're delivering a high level of service, 7, 8 out of 10. And yet a celebrity were to walk in, it goes to there. That is the gap. The gap in your service you do not realize exists in your business today, and it does. You'll find ways to improve your customer service. That is the gap if you get right. Your competition can't touch you. I wish you every success. Enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you. Thank you.